Hey, I'm Allison here, and welcome to Bright This Way, the podcast that interviews the culture changers that are reshaping our world and breaking new ground and inviting you to make your own mark. I thought it was a perfect time for a Solocast. So this is Bright This Way podcast. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so glad that you found me. And if you are returning, welcome back. I'm so glad that you stayed. And it's such a weird time out there. We are in the middle of a global pandemic. We are all at home for the most part and trying to stay safe. And some states are opening up or starting to open up, and some states are cranking down. And there's a lot going on in the world. And I have been thinking about, I've been doing a ton. And it's interesting when you think about, some people are saying, you know, I have all of these plans that now that I'm home, I should be doing more. And some people are saying, oh my God, I'm doing so much, I need to relax. So nobody knows what's right. I feel like everybody goes in or has gone into this pandemic thinking that they're going to learn a new language and come out with a new business idea or write a book or do all of these grand plans. But the reality is we're all trying to figure it out, and nothing happens the way that it's supposed to. And in my case, I've been feeling like I need to do something incredible. And, you know, like with the demands of being a two working parent household and homeschooling and the podcast and work and everything that goes on with it, it's been a lot. However, I have been the most creative I have ever felt and have cranked out more output than I ever have in my life. So it's been an interesting dichotomy where I do feel the weight of needing to do more, needing to do something more meaningful. And to kind of be specific about it, I am enrolled in a couple of programs as well. So one is an advanced podcasting course. And so that has been really mind-opening of how much I can automate. And it was like a light bulb that went off. So I started outsourcing my editing. So up until this point, I launched the podcast last May, in May of 2019. And I've done absolutely everything. I've done the production, the editing, the interviewing, the scheduling, the questions, the homework, the research, all of it. I've done, and I've loved it. But I also have a very demanding full-time job. So, and I thought, you know, why outsource it and pay all this money? But then I thought, you know, once it was presented me in this way that there are ways to automate it and outsource parts of it, so you can really focus on growing the podcast and growing the impact that you can make. So I made that shift immediately, and it was totally the right one as well. And I'm also taking a course on branding. And so the branding part, if you have ever seen my Instagram, you know it's a complete and total mess. And I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm trying to learn it and do the best that I can and learn social media. I'm on most of those social media platforms. But from a marketing perspective, I don't really know. I mean, some of it I feel inspired, and usually those get good engagement and all of that. But at the same time, I really wanted to be authentic. I wanted to be my voice and my impact, and what something that will really translate to people that are reading it and are messaging those people that need it the most. And that is, that's where I'm trying to hone in. So I've been doing a couple of advanced courses, one on branding, one on advanced podcasting. I may add a third. And what I decided to do is that, and you may know that I have recently switched the name of my podcast and really the brand of it. And I switched it from Little Left of Center, which is what it started out as. And really it was designed for people who think differently, but I changed it to Bright This Way, which I just love. I love the name. I love everything about it. I love the new logo. I love the new cover art. I love that it's bright. I love that it is bold and declarative, but it is also, to me, it feels happy to me. It feels happy. It feels directional, and it feels like there is impact there. So I've done a lot of these things. I've done, the name change, the logo change, the cover art. I'm building the website. I also have a podcast launch program called Press Play Podcast that I'm working with my second group of new podcasters, and they are so awesome. They're so fun, and I love to be a part of their creative process and watching them and helping facilitate them getting their messages out to the world has been so fulfilling for me, and it just makes me feel like I'm in the right place and I'm doing the right things. But as you can tell, it's a lot. And so I saw that one of my really good friends who has a podcast called Go Get Mom Podcast. And this is a woman, Cindy Robinson, who I've had on the podcast. It's one of my favorite episodes. And she is like the biggest seeker of answers for raising children. And she saw the statistics of how high the suicide rates are in teenagers and, ages, I think it was something like 8 to 19. And it was staggering. And she said, I've got to stop this. I've got to make an impact. So she made this podcast, and she posted something on Instagram that she was going to put it on hiatus. And she said she didn't want everything to be coronavirus. She wanted to have more of an evergreen content. And so she's putting it on a hiatus for a few months, and she's going to reload and have another season and have these incredible guests, these incredible topics. And seeing that post, I was like, I couldn't even imagine. And I thought, what if I took a hiatus? What if I press pause on my podcast to retool it, to make it better, to actually take the time that I spend on this podcast and make something far more impactful? So that's what I'm doing. I'm probably, there are a couple of things I've got in the works. My podcast has been growing. It's been exciting. I have unbelievable things I cannot wait to share with you of where this podcast is going and some of the partnerships that I have up and coming that I cannot yet state. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. And it's so funny because I was like, it never occurred to me to slow down or stop. I love doing the podcast so much. And even when I decided a few days ago that I was going to put it on hiatus, my brain can't stop thinking about who I can interview, who can I reach out to. And wow, that would be such a cool conversation. And the reason why I'm doing it is is twofold. One is that the listenership that I have has gone down, and because I'm losing the commuters, and it's the same thing for me. There are so many podcasts I love to listen to, but my schedule has changed so much where I'm not listening to podcasts like I used to because I'm not in the car. I don't have that allocated time. There are a few that I listen to religiously. One is the Newsworthy. I love that. And I've interviewed Erica Mandy, but it is a 10-minute news program that's completely unbiased. And it's fun too, believe it or not. So I listen to that every morning, Monday through Friday. And I try and catch up on the Brene Brown ones and anything with Glennon Doyle, armchair expert. And that's really it. I'm trying to listen to more, and I keep seeing all of these new episodes, and I'm like, oh, they sound like such great topics, but I just don't have time to allocate to it with all the other stuff that I've got going on. And so I figured, why not take this time to put my podcast on hold and make it better. And so the other part about it is that the podcast has been such a fun hobby for me. And it started out, and it still is, do more of what makes you light up. Do more of what makes you feel nourished and lit up. And that has always been the impetus behind this podcast, of just do more of what feels good. And it feels so good. It feels so fulfilling to hear back from my listeners and see you guys sharing with other people and what the comments were. And, hear your reactions has just been so fulfilling. And, I started a blog, and having the Press Play podcast to get that kind of feedback is just so heartwarming. You can tell I'm like processing this in my head of just letting go. And really what the purpose of this is that I'm going to turn this into a real business. And so it has been a hobby. It has been something fun. But I really want to put some structure around it. I really want to put some sponsorships, some affiliates. I want to put a business engine behind it so I can make a bigger impact. I would love to reach more people. I would love to reach even bigger guests and continue to make the content so compelling, so addictive that you just want to hear more. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to take some time. As you can tell, I'm investing heavily in the podcast, in myself, and understanding the business side of things, and how can I make it incredible? How can I make it a top podcast? And that's my goal. So I'm hoping that you will stick with me and listen to some of the old episodes. I may be re-releasing some of the old episodes as well with new branding. But there's so many good ones out there, and I hope you'll continue to share. I plan to be, I don't know. I think everything does kind of hinge on the coronavirus thing, and when the world will start to open back up. I don't think it'll ever be the way that it was. And I think it'll be a long haul and a slog to get back to a sense of normalcy. And so in my head, I'm thinking a month or two to kind of put it on ice and grow this really big. So I figure, I'm either going to blow this up or burn it down. And right now I feel really good about that. So as soon as I started to say it out loud, it just felt right. It felt like it was the time to hit pause and make this incredible. I want it to be addictive. I want it to be powerful. I want the message to move you. I want it to be addictive because I want you, the listener, to go and say, okay, I can do it, and do your own and make your own impact, make your own mark. That's my goal. That's my hope. And so I'm going to position everything around this to be able to do that. So I will be publishing on my blog sticky notes. So I hope you'll stay connected. Of course, I'll be on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, but I'm hopeful that you will stay connected with me through Sticky Notes blog. So if you go to allisonhair.com and sign up for it, I was going to make it a weekly blog. And then with the coronavirus stuff, I made it daily. And then I've kind of scaled back on that because I really want each post to be super impactful, that you cannot wait to open it up, or that it does help you every day. Or it's just something that's thought-provoking. They're very short, thought-provoking topics that help guide you through the day or make you feel like you're not alone. And usually there's something fun in there as well, some type of good news or something interesting to learn about. So I hope that you will continue with me on my journey. I am going offline from the podcast perspective, but you can always listen to previous episodes. Right now, I think there are 55 of them, so lots to catch up on, but I'll be back in a couple of months, and I hope you'll stick with me. I hope you'll stay well, and I want to hear from you. I'd love to hear any ideas that you have, and you can hit me up on the socials or just click on the show notes. There are lots of ways to get in touch with me, but with that, I'm signing off. I will see you very, very soon, and can't wait to stay connected with you, and thank you so much for listening all the way through.